Hello everyone, welcome. My name's Sherry and I share my sewing projects that I'm making with you. I do have an online fabric business that sometimes I share projects that I make into that, or I tell you if the fabric, you can purchase it online. So today is an old project that I did say that it was going to take me a long time to do it. It's a scrappy affair. Anyway, I have been working on this project for quite a while. I was going to grab my book. Yes, I've been working on this quite a while. So when I started this project, I think I shared it with you, and I'll try and make a playlist for it if you're interested in following along if you're new. But when I cut out anything out of a cotton or something suitable for a quilt project, because there is different fabrics in here, I do that. I cut them out as I cut out other things. So I was collecting the pieces for it. And after a year, I got tired of doing that and decided to go through my scraps and cut out however many I needed. And I sat down and figured out how many pieces I needed so I could just cut them all out and start sewing them together. So, and you see that I have like a sheet hung up here. I made a design wall, which is not why I made this. Well, it's not really a wall. It's more like, actually, it's flannel. And I bought a piece of flannel that was extra wide. I can't remember how big. And I just made it to fit this area on my wall. So it's actually hung up with washers. So it's like a shower curtain kind of, but I originally wanted to quilt it, and I thought, no, I would prefer to get it done. Otherwise, it'll take me forever because I don't have any batting right now. This is like probably 3 years now. I've been working on collecting all the scraps for this quilt. So 1 year, then I did a mass cut and cut however many I needed. And somewhere in there, I came across a doll blanket that I had when I was a kid that I think I made. And actually, I think there was 2 of them. So I took it apart and put the pieces in here. So there's quite a few fabrics in here that are kind of like memories. So there's pieces from a doll blanket, things that I have made, fabrics that people have given me that they didn't want anymore, like small pieces. So like my aunt, when she retired sewing, she gave me a bunch. They would be like fat quarters, kind of. Gave me a bunch of those, so those are in there. So that's kind of cool. And actually, she gave me a quilt that she had made, which traditionally you only got one if you got married. And she got tired of waiting, so she said, I'm going to give you this now. Anyway, she's madly in love with Roy. Another story. So, yes, so and some of the fabrics are in here because they were scraps from the quilt that she had made, which is kind of cool. So, yes. So this kind of thing, it wouldn't be for everyone because all the colors don't match. There's all different colors. There's purple and blue and green, as you can see. And I'll try and insert some more close-ups. So all the blocks are sewn together. I need to iron the blocks, but I have all the blocks laid out on my table, and I'm just randomly sewing them together, which was the whole purpose of this is why I thought this would be a cool project to do, is you're not supposed to think about what matches, which is really hard to do. Because I sewed a lot of the blocks matchy, like 2 pieces together. 1 second. So, word. So here's my drawing and my notes of me trying to figure out, because I was kind of worried about it being all mismatchy. That kind of looks nice, but obviously a quilt is not going to look like that. So 2 by 3.5 inch rectangles that you need, and then you sew them together. And then, as you can see here, you sew 2 together one way, and then that way, and then that way, and then that way, and just every other one. Very simple, and already I've made a mistake. I think it's the long strip on this end, right here. They're going, I don't have them all going the right way. So I got pins stuck in them, so I can remember to switch them around. So this quilt is gonna measure, now my math is not right on here. I did this last year and I was checking the numbers and none of it adds up. I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, I'm gonna, because when I figured this out, I made sure I had enough of the little rectangles, which it wouldn't be hard for me to cut out more, but I think I have more than enough. Because if memory serves correctly, I thought I needed 2,000 of the little rectangles, which is too many, because I had written down here that I needed 919 blocks, so that would be 1,800 and some little rectangles. But that doesn't add up. So the size quilt I wanted to make would be 84 inches by 92, which I think is a queen size roundabout. So I figured it out to be 30 blocks, which should give me 92 inches. Because the finished measurement of this sewn together would be 3 inches square. Hope I'm not boring you with the story, but I measured the length of this because it goes to the floor. There's 2 blocks laying on the floor. It doesn't fit on my new wall. So I figured it out to be 28 by 30. So, and I measured 31 blocks equals 87 and a half. I don't know. So that's a difference of 5 inches. So either I seem, and they look like they're going to match up the way I have them on here. So I don't know. Maybe I have done something wrong. But if I do it 28 by 30, I need 840 blocks, which is 1,600 pieces. So I should have more than enough, because I allow for, in case you get a bad block or one that's not quite big enough, or I don't have too many of one color, whatever. Yes. So I'm going to try the 31 blocks, and I'm going to do the 28 and see how many I have left, and I'm just going to try and use up as many as I have, because there is quite a few repeat blocks in this, because you cut out like a quarter, like a fat quarter size of fabric, like the Scrappy, and get quite a few blocks. So there is some repeat fabric in here. It's not all different. And I'm okay with that. And I realize this isn't for everyone. I know it's going to be an ugly quilt, but I think it's going to be nice when it's finished, and I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to try and sell it or give it to anybody. This is a quilt for me. Because there's quite a few memorable fabrics in the quilt. So, the reason why I made this design wall was for another project that I was going to do. And it is a long term. So this, I would like to have the top sewn together, or at least all the strips, because I'm sewing them in a strip. And I would like to have that finished by the end of the month. It'd be nice to have the quilt finished by the end of February, because I know it's going to take some time, and it always takes longer than you think. So it would be nice. And I don't have the batting or the backing for this. I don't know what I'm going to use for a backing. I must have something here that I could use. Maybe it'll be patchworky as well. I don't know. We'll see. I would like to have one backing, but we'll see. And I kind of have it, and I'll quilt it on my sewing machine, which will take a while. But I kind of know how I like to quilt it. I'm just going to do squares, like go down. Anyway, we'll see what I end up doing. So, yes, I have not counted my blocks again since last year. So hopefully I have enough, and so far I have still quite a big pile sitting on my sewing table. And I do have a stack that has to still be ironed. Yes. Saying before, I like to have a quilting project that I do over the year or start, and I really don't have that much time to sew. And I work on it little by little, as you can see. Otherwise, other people would have had this done a long time ago. But it's okay to have a project that you work on over a long period of time. Or I think it is. And I did mention that I wanted this area for a different type of quilt project. But this video is getting a little long, so I think I'll tell you about it in I'll do another video and show you what I am working on that is going to be another long-term project like this. So I would like to get this one finished so I can concentrate on doing the other one, which I think is going to be fun. Now, I didn't really follow any directions or anything for making this quilt besides, I think I originally saw the idea of Laura's Sew Very Easy is where I originally seen it. How she actually sewed the quilt together, I do not remember. So I just started. I don't know how other people would, maybe it would be easier if you sewed it in blocks, but because of the nature of the quilt where you do this and then this one here has to be up, and then I thought it'd be easier to do it in strips. And like I said, I've already made a mistake on this one here. No, lied. This one here. Yes, quite a few going. Anyway, I'll fix that. So I don't know how other people would do this, but I decided to go the long way. So I'm going to see if I can do 28 strips. If I get 29, then that's fine. I'm okay with that. And I just kind of wanted to see how this wall would work, because it's just a piece of flannel. And they do I have them clipped at the top, but they do stick on there. It's kind of cool. So, and it would be better if this was quilted because then I could pin in it really easily, but I could always quilt it at a later date if I decided that it was necessary. And as I was saying, in the winter, I like to start or work on a quilt project. And I try and do one every year. And last year, I did make a quilt for my aunt. It was just a lap quilt. And I have been working on this. Usually, like I had the container sitting by my sewing machine. I would just grab a handful and use them as leaders and enders, which is a very slow way to make blocks, but that's what I was doing. And then this last week, I've been just sewing them together to get them done. And I want to get this sewn. I would like to have at least all the strips sewn together, and it does work up quite quickly. Because when you start, you think, oh my goodness, this is going to take forever. But it does work quite quickly once you get going. So yes, I would like to have all these strips sewn together by the end of the month, and I will come back and show you my progress, and I will tell you about my other quilt project that is a slow project. It's probably going to take me maybe 3 years to do, but it's I like having one. So this is in the works right now, and hopefully this will be finished very soon. And I think that is going to be over 15 minutes for today. And I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about. So this is a very scrappy quilt. If you don't like that many colors sewn together, you could always pick like say only blues and do all the blues, and it would look really nice that way as well. Like just pick so many colors. But if I did that, I would have like 10 different quilts because there's a lot of different values and a lot of different colors in here that don't really go together, but I think once it's quilted, it'll look different. And like I said before, it's just for me. And then you can see how ugly or nice it turns out when it's all done, whether you would do something like this. If you like scrappy quilts, or do you prefer to use a color wheel and make sure everything matches, or anyway, it's been a long process because I took you could obviously do this much quicker, but I chose to do it over a long period of time, and I don't mind doing that, but I am getting it done. So there's an update on my Scrappy quilt. I will try and make a playlist, and because I think I have shown this to you twice. And yes, so that's it for me today. Let me know if you've made something like this before in the comments below. I'd love to hear your sewing adventures or what you're working on right now. It'd be great to hear from you. See you again soon. Bye.